I never thought a single sentence could dismantle years of trust so effortlessly. Yet there she was, Emma, sitting across from me at that dimly lit table, meeting my eyes as she said, "I'm with someone else tonight." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. The clinking glasses, the soft jazz, even the hovering waiter, all of it vanished into a blur of silence. I just stared at her, waiting for a smirk, a laugh, something to tell me she was joking. Emma was never cruel. Not like this. We'd been together for 5 years. Built a home, taken trips, fought over trivial things like groceries and laundry, then made up with movie nights and cheap wine. I thought we were solid. So I laughed. "You're kidding, right?" She didn't laugh. Didn't even blink. Her lips pressed into a line, her eyes, those eyes that once lit up at the sight of me, were now distant and cold. "I don't want to lie to you anymore," she said softly. "I'm seeing someone else. I'm meeting him tonight." My throat tightened. I could feel eyes from nearby tables shifting toward us as my silence stretched on. I forced a smile, because if I didn't, I might have broken down right there. "Wow," I said finally. "You really picked a great place for confession night." She looked down, guilt flickering across her face. "I'm sorry, Alex. I didn't plan for this. He makes me feel something I haven't felt in a long time." That line sliced deep. Something I haven't felt in a long time. I leaned back, exhaling through my nose, trying to stay composed. "You could have told me before dessert," I thought. A faint, awkward smile crossed her lips as if she thought I was joking. I wasn't. I paid the bill even when she reached for her purse. Some habits die hard. Outside, she gave me a pitying look, like I was some old version of her she'd outgrown. Then she turned and walked away. No hesitation, no glance back. I stood under the neon sign, smaller than I'd ever felt. The next morning, her scent still lingered on the pillow. Half her clothes were gone, her favorite mug missing. The silence in that apartment was suffocating. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just scrolled through photos, birthdays, vacations, lazy Sundays. Every smile felt like a lie. That's the thing about betrayal. It rewrites your memories until even the good ones feel tainted. 3 days later, a message popped up from an unknown number. "Hey, Alex, this is Ryan. We should talk." It took a moment to sink in. Ryan, Emma's new boyfriend. Talk about what? Curiosity beat pride, so I agreed to meet him at a downtown coffee shop. When I walked in, I spotted him instantly. Sharp suit, confident posture, maybe a little too polished. He stood, extending a hand like we were at some corporate meeting. "Thanks for coming," he said. "Didn't mean to make this awkward." I stared at him. "You slept with my girlfriend." I'd say awkward's unavoidable. He nodded, accepting the jab. "Fair, but there's something you should know about Emma." I almost laughed. "You mean beside the part where she cheats?" He sighed, slid his phone across the table. "I don't think she's who you think she is." On the screen, Emma, smiling beside another man. "Who's that?" I asked. Ryan hesitated. "Her fiancé." For a second, I thought I misheard. "Fiancé? You mean you're her fiancé?" He shook his head slowly. "No, that's Daniel. She's been with him for almost a year." The ground seemed to shift. My chest went tight. 5 years together, loving her, trusting her, and somehow I was just another name in a rotation. "You're telling me she's engaged while dating both of us?" He nodded, and maybe more. I found messages on her phone while she was in the shower. At first, I thought it was emotional cheating, until I saw your name. I sat back, silent. The confirmation hurt, but it also numbed me. My heartbreak wasn't special. It was mass-produced. Ryan's guilt softened his tone. "I didn't know, man. When she told me about you, she said you two broke up months ago. Then she started vanishing for hours. I got suspicious." "You could have just left her," I said. "I did," he replied quietly. "But not before I found something. You should see this." He handed me a small USB drive. "It's all there," he said. "Messages, photos, accounts. Everything she's been hiding. You deserve to know who she really is." That night, I sat at my desk staring at it like it was cursed. I knew opening it would hurt, but I couldn't move on without knowing. Folders appeared. Work, trips, finances, and one that made my stomach twist. Clients. I opened it, and everything fell into place. Photos, screenshots, conversations. Emma wasn't just cheating. She was running a scheme. Multiple men, overlapping timelines. Each relationship crafted like a performance. Men like me, like Ryan, like Daniel. She took money, gifts, trips, favors, all while playing the role of the perfect partner. And when things got too close, she'd ignite drama, end it, and move on. It wasn't love. It was manipulation dressed as affection. I scrolled through the live for hours. No tears, no yelling, just cold clarity. And in that cold, I found calm. She'd spent years controlling every story. But not this one. A week later, I asked her to meet. Closure, I said. She agreed immediately. Of course she did. She always wanted control of the ending. We met at the same restaurant. She walked in, perfectly composed, as if nothing had happened. "Alex," she said sweetly, sliding into the seat. "You look good." "Thanks." "You too," I replied. She sighed. "I know you're hurt, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean for things to go this way. Maybe someday you'll understand." I smiled faintly. "Maybe I already do." Her brows furrowed. "What do you mean?" I slid my phone across the table. On the screen, her entire web of lies. Every photo, every message, every name. Her face drained of color. "You didn't." "I did," I said calmly. "Daniel and Ryan are copied on the email. I figured they deserved closure too." Her hand trembled as she reached for her phone. "You can't do this. You're destroying me." "No, Emma," I said, leaning forward. "You destroyed yourself. I'm just returning the truth to its owners." She stood abruptly, eyes glassy with fury, and stormed out. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. 3 months later, Ryan and I met for a beer. Turns out, he's actually a good guy. Funny how betrayal can create strange alliances. As for Emma, word spread fast. The engagement collapsed. Her job discovered her client connections. And she vanished. No one's seen her since. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that moment in the restaurant, the calm way she looked at me and said, "I'm with someone else tonight." Now, when I remember it, I actually smile. She was right. That night, she was with someone else, herself.